Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Wednesday, January the 24th. Good to have you with us today. And I've got Nadia Navarrete-Tindall with us. Welcome.
Hi,
Happy New Year, Nadia.
Happy New Year too. Thank you.
Nadia just got back from El Salvador. That's where your family lives, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And here we are. We're in the middle of winter, but Nadia thought it would be interesting, and it is, to think the fact, you look out and you think everything is dormant, dead, but it's not. There is a lot of life that makes it through the winter, right? As
That's
winter
right.
ground cover, for one thing.
Yeah.
And why is that so important?
Well, first of all, the plants that I brought you, just some samples, are all native and they're perennials. So they hold the soil by staying alive. The roots are still alive. They might have some green on top, but the lower part of the plant is still pretty living. It doesn't matter how cold it gets.
Right.
And it protects the soil from getting eroded.
From washing away. And they're adapted to this climate, so they do stay alive underground. And the last time you were here, you were talking about the importance of letting your garden plants stand through the winter. Usually, I will clean the garden and have it I call it putting it to bed for winter. This year, because you said not to do that, I didn't. So I've still got all of the dead tomato plants and the cucumber vines and the zucchini vines are all still there. But I would imagine the birds are eating some of the...
Yeah, what is really neat is that there is always something growing next to the roots of the plants. Like vegetables, they would be dead at this point. But usually with native plants, because they're insects, there are some larvae of insects that will still need continue eating.
Yeah.
So they eat the underground next to the roots, or we talk about also about leaving like all the foliage from trees.
Yeah.
They protect insects from getting dry or getting too cold. And we have some birds that overwinter. We have seen robins in our backyard, and cardinals are usually here.
Yeah.
And little ones like chickadees and titmouse.
And they all enjoy that. And that's why I left all the dead zinnias and sunflowers out too. And I'm imagining that the birds are just having a wonderful time with that.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Yes, and that's because you told me.
That's
right?
wonderful.
Now I'm going to have a hard time cleaning the garden come the spring, but
well, little by little. I mean, there will be time for that.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to wait until the end to clean everything. You can go little by little. By, let's say, March, at least the weather is not that extreme. And even in some insects that might still be in the leaves, they might find cover in other areas.
Now, you brought along today some winter plants that do stay alive this time of the year, and even with the severe cold that we have. If you're listening on the radio, you're not going to be able to see this, but if you're watching us, but for the folks that are listening, Nadia, explain, what am I holding right here? It looks like a clump of dead grass.
Yeah, but if you look carefully, it's green underneath. And this is a poverty grass.
This is poverty grass?
Yeah, and it's very characteristic that it forms like curly leaves in the winter. So you only see that this time of the year, in the fall and winter, and it's very easy to spot them in glades or savannas.
So poverty grass is native to this area?
Yeah, and this plant, actually I dug this plant from our yard, because we have been trying to use some native grasses too. And this grass is doing really well. It likes poor soil, and it grows well in the shade or in sunny places.
So can you buy poverty grass seeds?
Yeah, there's some available, but you would have to go, there are several, but it would be hard to explain right now. But if you go to the Grow Native website, and check, maybe ask them to direct them to people that will be selling them.
So Go Native website. Is it gonative.org?
Grow Native.
Grownative.org?
Yes. .org.
.org.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, here's something else you brought along. And this looks
This one
as
is,
green
I just got it out of the
as
ground.
green as can be. And when she came in with this, I said, "Oh, these are those wild daisies. They look like the wild daisy plants, but they're not. What is this?"
This one is called a ragwort or Pachyra obovata. It's actually a perennial plant that is in the same family as daisies.
So what the flower? What does it look like?
The
when it
flower
blooms?
is yellow. It blooms in the spring. It's very beautiful. And the reason I brought it too, as well as poverty grass, is because it can be used as perennial covers.
Okay.
And if you see it, this time of the year is still very green.
Yes, it is. It's very green. It looks like it's springtime.
And they are really pretty in the spring with the flowers.
Then you brought another little tiny plant here that is green, but it's hard to see. What is that?
That one is called Pussytoes. Pussytoes, as it.
Pussytoes. And what does Pussytoes look like?
Well, it's really very short, as you see, but it will grow a little larger in the spring. The flowers are white, and they grow really next to the ground.
You're not talking about spring beauties, are you?
No, they're completely different.
Okay.
But they grow right next to the ground, so they can also be used as covers, as like perennial cover in gardens.
Are spring beauties, are they native to Missouri?
Yeah, they are, but they are just blue. They are, if I'm not mistaken, no, they are not. They're perennials too, but they are not they don't spread as much as.
I've got millions of spring beauties in the woods at my house.
This is in shade areas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now you brought another plant in here, and this one looks like it's dead, but it's not. It's a bellflower.
Yeah, it's a flower, and that is the 1 year growth. It's a seedling of bellflower that will will bloom in the fall. So we have plant one that will bloom in the spring. It's still pretty green. That one will bloom in the fall. And Pussytoes will bloom in the spring, too.
You know what I like? We're just about out of time here, Nadia, but the fact that there are flowers blooming all season long in central Missouri if you just get out and look at them, and they're so beautiful.
It's good to learn about them, and so you can have blooms all year long.
Yeah, okay. People want more information, is there a website they can go to in rural Missouri?
Actually, I have a Facebook page.
Okay, what is it?
Native Plants and More.
Native Plants and More, and that is Nadia's Facebook page, and you'll get all the information you need, okay?
Yes.
So write it down, Native Plants and More. Okay, we're out of time for today. Walter Morgan's with us tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.